So the other part of this equation in building our team was never hiring somebody with a book. Every single person came to us without a clientele. Even if they were an experienced hairdresser, we would never hire them from town. Or if they were from town, they might have like a handful of clients, maybe their friends or family, but we would never hire an established hairdresser. Couple of reasons. One, I never wanted to impact somebody else's business in a negative way. I think that's a total dick move. If you're trying to lure people, that type of salon owner, first of all, I think it's like, as a salon owner, it's pretty lame that you need somebody to come into your business with their cash. That's not, you're not running a business. That's a chair rental operation, essentially. It's just with a different pay structure. Even if you're a commission and you're like, well, no, I'm a commission salon. And if somebody walks into your salon with a $10,000 a month or a $12,000 a month clientele, do you think and you're in some 8-chair salon, do you think that you have the ability to lay down the law on how you want them to behave in your business? And do you think that their clientele or they're going to immerse themselves in your culture? They don't need to, because you need them. They don't need you. So for me, I never wanted to build my business this way. We realized that if we wanted customer service to be a certain way and have a minimum standard, we couldn't bring people in with their own book, because they would hold their clientele at arm's length, and rightfully so. It was their clientele. But secondly, when I talked about impacting somebody else's business in a negative way, imagine if that person was leaving a commission salon and you're saying stylist with clientele wanted. So you're encouraging that person to whisper, whisper, whisper to every client while they're an employee of that other salon. You're encouraging somebody to join your business who's shady. And if you build your business on the backs of a bunch of shady people, you're an idiot, first of all, and they're going to do the same thing to you. It's going to be a very, very short life for you. So there's a reason that we've been in business since 1998, and we've been profitable the whole time. And I've never had debt after the first 2 years of business. You know, we've built a phenomenal business in relation to what most businesses in our industry are like. We built something really, really powerful and meaningful, and that happened through a really slow and long process. It didn't happen through front loading our business with a bunch of talent. It happened through creating talent, because I would rather hire nice people, teach them service skills, and then teach them how to do hair and put them on the floor and give them an opportunity and support them the whole way. And this is why we've had a lot of people in our company, with us for well over a decade. I mean, we've built a meaningful company. You bring in a bunch of talent, you're generally dealing with a bunch of problems. So you might as well just rent chairs. You might as well. Because if you're building your business trying to build it as a commission salon by hiring people with a book, yeah, the whole thing, it defies logic. It just doesn't make any sense. So we built up this business, and what's really cool about it is we would then, once the apprentices got their chair on the floor, we would build them up, and eventually would make them start teaching classes under our supervision, and that then further them. We have this whole program, and it's all about building team, developing talent, and getting everybody up to a minimum standard. And for me, that minimum standard is my skill set. I want to teach my team to have, I like to say this, that my ceiling is their floor. I want to teach them everything I know about hairdressing as their foundation, because it took me 15 years. I would say 15 years to get to where I am today, and I've slowly been declining ever since. But I think I peaked about 5 years ago as a hairdresser. I was pretty good 5 years ago, and now I'm slipping. Because I have my mind on other things. I'm trying to be a coach. I'm trying to build my crew, and I also have a family, so I have some distractions. But that's really what my goal is as an owner, is to create a whole bunch of giants in the industry that can take their career anywhere they want to go, and they have this common knowledge, which is Michael's skill set or Michael's philosophy that guarantees that my client care is going to be at a certain level. And even then we slip all the time. So, it certainly requires constant communication and tweaking and reminders to people. I mean, we have a policy in our company where you're not ever allowed to say the words "no problem." I hate hearing "no problem." We have this policy in our company that the only two acceptable answers to "thank you" are "you're welcome" or "it's my pleasure." Those are the only things that are allowed to be said in my company. Well, I just had to write a Facebook post on my team page to remind people, because we have such an influx of new staff that sometimes little things like that are big but are kind of little get forgotten, and they sort of slip through, especially as I've stepped away from the salon, and the things that are super important to me, sometimes we miss them a little bit. So little things like that, we're constantly tweaking it, and that's really what my role is to figure out ways to maintain that standard. If you want to build the type of business that lasts, you have to develop talent. You have to develop your team from within. There's nothing wrong with a booth rental salon. I'll talk about the value of that. I think I understand why it exists. It's not what I do with my business, but I'm not saying I would never do it, but it's not what I do with my business. Because for me, I want to look at the company that I have. I want to look at the people that work with me and sweat beside me every day. And I want to be proud of that. And I want to know that I've impacted people's careers and lives in a positive way. It's not always about the money, guys. Like, certainly we have we're running a business, and the money is important, but don't make the money your priority. Make your priority having people love what you do, and want to be a part of your culture and team, and want to be successful through you, and the money is going to happen later. That's my belief in running a hair salon. So do something important. Don't be like the status quo in your area. Don't hang out signs that say "client" or "stylist with clientele wanted." Develop your team and do something awesome.
Darling, don't you go and cut your hair.